In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. Give him all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kodash. This is Amos 9 verse 11. And the heading is the restoration. If you're on Blue Letter. Anyway, I'm going to read from the 11th verse to the 15th verse. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Now, is it talking about an actual building? No. It's talking about the people, or the Israelites, who lived during the time period of King David, especially them that are was very close to him. When you go into the history, those same people, the important men, women, whatever the case may be, are back again. I remember years ago at the main school, 1 West, and the former high priest Yeshua used to say, the tabernacle of David is talking about the tribe of Judah, because David was a Judite, which was clearly wrong. The tabernacle of David, as I have said, is talking about the Israelites of that generation. Now, during that same time period, you had the people that were under Saul, King Saul. And when the kingdom was taken away from Saul and given to David through the Most High, there was war between the remnant of the kingdom of Saul and the kingdom of David. That's all in the history. And they were actually killing each other. And we believe that we are of the house of David. And you have these other camps that some of them are of this house of Saul, coming back all over again. So the only ones that's going to be saved are the ones that the Most High handpicked of the house of David, not of the house of Saul. So when it says the tabernacle of David, it's talking about David's house, David's generation, and David. So for the tabernacle of David to be risen up, David has to be risen up too. Now, I was watching part of the Scary Hour with Alazar, Chief High Priest, Grand Exalted Poobah. He likes those accolades, so I'm gonna give him all that. The Grand Poobah and Hassad. And I didn't catch the whole thing, and I immediately made a video on it. And what I did catch, Alazar had went to the split and why the split came, and he's partially right. You know, that's, second-hand, third-hand information. I was actually there. That split really came about because of money and power struggle, and you had Nate Nathaniel, or Bishop Nathaniel as he calls himself, and others that got to Mo's ear and said, look, we got to get out of here, because another individual had an actual school. That's, what is his name? Was that a Mafia? Yeah, Mafia, the old dude. He's in the spirit world. He died a long time ago. Anyway, they had a place to go, so they set up a date, and they did it secretly too, which was wicked. Which was wicked, Nate. That was wicked. They didn't tell the people that went to the school that didn't know what was going on. They just left. And they really didn't want me to come. They wanted me to come to stay with the main school. They wanted to start their own thing, their own leadership, which was wicked too. I mean, of course, I'm going to know. But they just had that plan, which was completely wicked, man. And eventually, that school broke up because of other splits and infighting. And when that split actually happened, this guy, Nathaniel guy, which was his name, he had my number and he called me and he explained what went down about the whole eating of the pork, and that they went from keeping the law to you can't keep the law, period, and you got to prove that you're not keeping the law by eating pork. Oh, there was one point where they said if you have wives that are unbelieving wives, you have to put your wives away, and you got to give them an ultimatum. So all of them, or most of them, had put away their wives. They just went home and looked, I'm not dealing with you no more. You're not an Israelite. You don't believe, so you're out of here. Which the Most High was put the spirit on them. As the scriptures say, they became worse and worse. And even today, the IUIC teaches that if you have a woman, she has to believe, or you got to cut her off, which is clearly in violation of Scripture. In particular, 1 Corinthians 7, the 7th chapter, it says you can have an unbelieving wife. Now, the only one that had a believing wife was Nathaniel guy, his wife, because she believed she was always in the truth back at 1 West. But the rest of them, they just cut their wives off. They just, boom, I'm out of here. And just had children, cut the children off. Just cut everything off. Mainly cut their wife off. Let's just say that. And like I said, they said that you can't keep the law, and you got to prove that you can't keep the law by breaking the law. And the way you prove that you're not keeping the law, because under grace, you have to eat pork, and we have to watch you eat pork. That's some old Antiochus Epiphanes, black Antiochus Epiphanes spirit. You're gonna make you, and then from what I heard, from what he told me, the majority of the people had no problem doing it. Hey, the scripture say the simple believeth every word. Anyway, I believe it was on a Friday, and what happened that Monday, Nate or Nathaniel got noticed that there was 14 brothers missing, and he come to find out that they wasn't having it. And then he knew right then and there that he was going off. Oh, I forgot. They kicked out King David himself. So how can they be the King David? Which is Moses, Masha. Which I'm not doing it. I'm not going to say that anybody that says that Masha is not King David, I'm not going to say that you're going off, because that's through the Spirit, by faith, that we see. We actually met him. A lot of y'all never met Masha and Arya and Yaikwab and so forth. So, I can understand you questioning that. No big deal. Anyway, so that was that. We spoke some more, and And that was that. We hung up. But that's how that split. And I knew in the spirit. I said, well, they're not. They caused a split, and then the Most High caused them to be split up. That's why Nathaniel or Nathaniel God set up what came to be known as IUIC, and I believe that was officially started in 2003, and that school's going to be broken up as well. Anyway, it goes on and says, I will raise up his ruins, meaning he's going to raise us up. There's not going to be no David's castle being built back up or his house being built back up. It's talking about the people that were with David. And David is going to actually sit on the throne again. There's a number one throne, then there's going to be thrones behind it. And I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh the Most High, that doeth this, and that's the kingdom. So when is the house of David going to be restored? When the kingdom is restored, and Yahweh Shai will be over him. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper. The plowman is us. We're going out there plowing, and the reaper is the one that benefits from us plowing, which is, in this case, Esau. And the treader of grapes, and we tread the grapes, him that soweth seed. In other words, it's Esau's seed. He causes us to throw down the seed. Grape trees grow. We take the grapes off the trees. We stomp them for Esau. We make wine for Esau. It says crop for Esau, corn for Esau, cotton for Esau. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Now that word melt is, I just looked it up, and it actually means to melt. And the hills represent government. So the governments are going to be done away with. There's only going to be one government. And that's the kingdom of Israel, also known as the house of David, or the kingdom of the Most High on earth. 14 verse, and I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel. And that's not talking about the body of believers, as Vocab Malone says, which he's breathing his last breath. It's talking about national Israel, starting with the house of David, which are the elect. And they shall build away cities. Who's going to build away cities? Our slaves. And inhabit them, because the land of Israel will be utterly destroyed, but be rebuilt back up. And they shall plant vineyards, because we're going to be the kingdom. This kingdom is going to be an earthly kingdom. And drink the wine thereof. We're going to be drinking actual wine. The Lord said, I will drink with you again in the kingdom. They shall also make gardens. And that's in Isaiah 61, where it says we're going to use the strangers to tend to our gardens. I believe that's Isaiah 61, verse 3 or 4. And eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land. There's not going to be a nation that's going to rise up and take us down. So when this kingdom is established, it's going to be an everlasting kingdom, which I have given them, saith the Lord Yahweh the Most High. And that's all I'm going to say. Shalom.